My name is Montez Sweat. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I go to Michigan State where I play football at. I'm a freshman, and I'm here today to talk to you about the phases of culture shock and my experience of culture shock personally. I think the culture is everything you dreamed of and everything you ever wanted to be in, the way you wanted to live, and all that. And you just fall in love with it. It's like after your wedding, at the honeymoon. Phase four of the culture shock is called the affection function phase. This is the last and final stage. It's when you guys went through all the first three stages and you're finally at your last four. Now, through all those stages, you loved it, hated it, wanted to go home, and all that. Now you're at your last phase where you're really getting a feel for the culture. You really see the traditions and the ways that everything go about that's around you. So you're feeling like maybe this might be a good thing and stuff like that. And after you leave your culture, you go back home, you might get a reverse where you like love the culture that you was just in better than the culture that you're from because you've been in that culture for so long. That's what the phase will do to you because you love that culture so much. You get away from the culture that you have been in. Like some of you might be able to relate when you go away from your culture from a long time and you're around another culture, you start practicing their ways, their traditions, eating their food, talking the way they might talk. It's called Affection 4.
Hey, my name is Robert Bowers, and I'm gonna talk about my culture shock. A lot of people don't make it out of my city because it's a lot of people in gangs, and a lot of people don't stick what they want to do. And like me, I went to Walnut Ridge in Columbus, Ohio, and it's like 95% of black. A lot of people at my school play football and basketball mainly, and a lot of people was in the hood and gangs, and then they didn't make it out and went to D1 schools. I was the only person out of my school to go D1, and I'm glad I went to Michigan State, and I'm glad they gave me a chance because a lot of people in my city don't make it out. And I'm gonna be talking about honeymoon, and I'm glad Michigan State took me in because a lot of people don't understand.
How you guys doing? My name is Vayante Copeland. I'm from Dayton, Ohio, and I'm here to talk about phase two of the culture shock, which is the disenchantment phase. This phase is when you begin to be aware of your settings. You just start adapting. Becoming aware of what's going around. What's actually happening in the culture. Trying to adapt. Just trying to find yourself in, and just trying to find this one way and one step. Just to fit in to that culture. Um, when I came up here, I was basically in that phase. I didn't know where I fit in. I didn't know what to expect. I was just trying to figure out my way because I'm from Dayton, Ohio, and coming to Michigan, I really didn't know my step, and so, I didn't know my step. I didn't know my place in this city, and at first because I just had to adapt, and it was a big culture shock, and that's the disenchantment phase. The next step I'm going to talk about is step three, which is the beginning resolution phase, and that's basically when you're adapting. You're already trying to come into contact with people. Basically just learning, getting acquainted with people. You basically meeting new friends and everything. You're almost to the end of adapting as well, adapting to that new environment, adapting to that new culture that you're trying to actually adapt to, and basically in this stage, you just gotta just find those people and reach out to those people, that mimic your kind of style, that mimic your kind of, experience that you're trying to go through in culture shock. And, basically that's what the beginning resolution stage is, just seeking new people and, just seeking a new environment, adapting to that. And, you just basically kind of feeling comfortable actually in that culture. And, you're feeling the way and you're kind of vibing and you're knowing the understanding of that culture. My experience of culture shock was when I was 9 years old. I had to move from Dayton, Ohio to Baltimore, Maryland. I was basically kind of in each stage of the culture shock because at first, it was like the honeymoon phase. I really didn't know exactly what to expect. I didn't know who to meet. I didn't know who to trust. I was just basically trying to get, in contact with people, basically just trying to adapt to that culture because I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't have any friends around. I didn't know any people. I didn't know the language that they taught. And basically, I just had to go out and just try to find friends, that kind of was in the same situation that I was in, and that's kind of how I cope with it. That's kind of how I help, pass through the culture shock. It was people that I went out and met that helped me that actually was going through the same situation that I was. So, that's basically how I kind of dealt with my culture shock experience. Basically, just trying to go out and find friends, that's trying to in the same situation that you're in, and just build relationships with those people.